Welcome back, Aztec Nation. It's the Sons of Montezuma podcast. It's a victory Monday. The Aztecs beat Boise in Boise. I got the guys here. We're going to do a little bit of celebrating. Why don't you join us? Stick around.
Byrd a leader. Perfect.
He makes tough shots.
The minutes picks up the rebound. Byrd firing away. Bullseye.
Well, you got to find this kid quickly. He's got a quick trigger.
With Roth on the bench. McKinney, the reserve guard, drills it.
Tough shot.
The Gorville, no. But Heidi's there. He is excellent on the offensive glass and shows it there.
Boise State has won 87 of their last 93 games when they lead at the half. They led by one at the half.
That's Miles Byrd. Buchanan attacking. Roth lost the ball.
Their best offense in the second half. And one.
Off the glass and through. Against the press. Roth ahead. The 7-foot slam. A rare home loss for Boise State that won 70 of their last 80 home games. And that does it. San Diego State 76.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Sons of Montezuma podcast. We want to thank you guys for joining us this Victory Monday. What do you think? Should we let it fly, man? Should we let it fly, Fiend?
Let's do it.
Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna set my plate down for a second, just for a hot second, because boy, it is a hot potato. Fiend, what are you snacking on over there? I see you're got something delicious.
Yeah, so I'm snacking on some blue potatoes that are smothered in Frank's red hot thick sauce, just like the Aztecs defense did to Boise. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, I forgot. I almost forgot. Always apply your potato tears before you eat. Hand sanitizer, freshly squeezed in Boise. Shout out Lemur Femur for this. Back in COVID, I think he sent these out, but never gets old. Those delicious potato tears.
Oh, cleanliness is godliness, as they say, right? I think that's a phrase I've heard before. Welcome everybody, the Aztecs. Boy, we're having ourselves a nice little Victory Monday. I got my mashed potatoes, my baked potato over here with some sour cream and chive. It tastes extra good today. You cannot stop them. You can only hope to contain them. It is Fiend.
Give it a rest, bro.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for just a few moments. You know, we got to gloat. We got to enjoy this Victory Monday. Great to see everybody in the chat. The Aztecs, as we said, came away with a big victory, 76-68 over Boise State in Boise on the road. And, let's start this thing off, Fiend. Yeah, I saw some chatter out there like, was this a big victory? Was this a big win? I know Schaefer got some pushback. Our friend John Schaefer on the Aztecs wrap-up show got some pushback there on Twitter. I had to, I want us to enjoy this because Boise is a good program. They're a good program. They've been giving us fits for several years now. We talked about it in the preview coming into this game, losing 6 of 7, which is That's tough to believe. So this was a big victory. I don't think anybody should downplay this game. The adversity the team had to go through. We're gonna get into it all. We're waiting on Mike to get here. Hopefully he'll be joining us. We'll see if he can make it. But Fiend, man, it's good to have you. What was the word or phrase you had when the clock hit 000 and you saw that the Aztecs were escaping Boise with a big victory?
Big time win. I mean, that's a big time win. That's the way I see it. They've had our number, like you said. What was that stat there? 78 out of the last 80 games they've won. At
not that many, but it was close. I think it was like 70 out of 80 or
70.
something crazy like that.
Well, they don't lose very much there, so that's pretty impressive. And like I said, we've after all these games that we've lost to Max Rice and these close ones, we lost 2 close ones last year. So to go on the road and get a big victory like that, especially with everything that happened with the issues with travel again, and getting there, I think around midnight, and then, pretty much started out sluggish like we did against the Cal game. To overcome that, and then to really quiet their crowd, they advertised it as a sellout. Didn't look like their student section was really full there, but I think we really quieted their crowd. Someone mentioned on Twitter, they said it was I think it was it Ziegler who said it was extra quiet arena, which
yeah, I saw that.
Got to be embarrassing for them, because they are a proud program. They are a very proud program, and I know when they come back to Viejas, they're going to give us their best shot.
I tweeted back at BJ Rains, who put that out. Kind of was like making fun of Ziegler, or just kind of picking it up like, man, that was a good joke, right? I think there was a little bit of that college football playoff hangover for the Boise fans. I knew if they were either going to be there and be like really pissed off and bring that energy at the guys, if they lost earlier in the week, which they did, they got handled by Penn State, as I kind of felt that was going to happen. But I think it was more of a hangover for them. And I don't know. I don't think students are in session as well. So, hey, if you're going to go play in Boise, that's the time you want to do it. All the conditions were right. But you said it first off, man, the travel issues, it's been an issue. Trying to leave San Diego, that's been the thing, man. The fog, where I live down in the south part of the city, South Bay, like the fog is insane. It's been crazy these last several weeks. And dating back to that Cal game, trying to get out of here has just been heavy fog. So yeah, they had their issues that were out of their control. I mean, what can you do to that point? As they did back against Cal, they really banded together and put out a great performance against Cal. In this game, same thing. Like you said, they kind of, that first half, they started off sluggish, right? You weren't sure what kind of team you were going to get. It was an early tip-off time as compared to Cal. That was a late night game. And by the time they kind of settled in and the game was over, it was like, wow, man, this team just really, they play very well under adversity. In adversity, any kind of challenges you throw at them, they're going to play towards that level. They're going to man up. They're going to gear up and be prepared. There's 2 other factors in this game that we had in our article. Make sure you guys go check that out, sonsofmontezuma.com. Check out that preview article we put together. The first one was, obviously the travel issues. But man, can we talk a little bit about Miles Byrd? Can we talk about Miles Byrd? Because he led all scores of 22. It was a career high, and he really set the tone in that first half, despite the sluggish start, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were down 18-12, and that's when he hit the 3-pointer and one. The 4-point play brought us back 18-16, and then he just started hitting big shot after big shot, and he was on fire. So both ends of the floor, he was great. I think I said it last podcast. I mean, he needs to stay on the floor. We need him on the floor because he's so valuable on both ends, and tremendous performance by Miles Byrd. He really carried us in that game.
You're right. I mean, I said it wasn't until he hit that 3, got knocked down, and it felt like the whole team kind of just locked in. It was like that situation where they just, bam, okay, we're here. You know, you weather that storm a little bit to say, and the rest of the game was neck and neck. But man, they played their butts off, man. I've been seeing he's been getting some posts out there, Miles Byrd, as far as well, I can't remember the account or the phrase, but it was like league him. Like league him, right? He's getting a lot of attention from the scouts. Been seeing that all over social, and as he should, man. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
dynamic two-way player. We knew it coming in, but this has been his first real opportunity at these amount of minutes in this starting five role. And really
Breakout
just
year.
breakout, the playmaking. I mean, we'll get into it because we're going to talk about this next factor, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the adversity, and that was minutes before the game. I don't know when you found out, but when I saw that Farrell Compton wasn't going to be able to suit up, it was like, oh man, throw another challenge at these guys, the travel, whatever have you. Man, just another challenge to throw at these guys. Now, Boise, I said in the preview, this is a little bit of a different Boise team than I think we're used to, right? You know, they still have a lot of the same players, Omar Stanley, you still see Meadow and Cardenas they added, right? But
Degenhart,
you know,
yeah.
Degenhart, good Lord. Just they've always been physical with us. They've always given us fits on the boards, even when we had Mensa and Kashad and AG. I mean, they had the big bodies that could muscle up with us in certain cases, all across the board, right? Not just in the big man, but in their front court, all that back court, all that good stuff. So not having Farrell, I was like, oh man. I vividly remember in the chat, I was like, we might be effed. Like, dude, this is not good. Let's talk about the unsung bigs. Gotta give some respect to the bigs that came to play. It was a total team victory, top to bottom. Guys got minutes and opportunities that they don't normally get. And comment a little bit on that, man. I know I have my thoughts.
I mean, you know, three big performances. Starting off, the guy who's just really been breaking out, streaking lately, is Miles Heide. I mean, offensive boards, we know he's great on the offensive boards, but now his shot has fallen too. I think he's 14 out of his last 17, 82%. I mean, that's like top 1% in the country. He's just tearing it up, you know, especially in the paint, and showing some really good post moves. Just love what he's doing. You know, he started out like first couple of games getting a lot of minutes, then it dipped for a while. Seemed like Farrell was getting more minutes than him, and you know, with Farrell being out this game, and then really the last couple of games, he's just gotten more minutes and made the most out of the opportunity he's been in there. It's been great to see from him because he's the one guy that I think we saw in Swish League. It was like everyone else was really kind of getting better, you know, but it seemed like he was sort of regressing a little bit, and it was like, what's going on with Miles? You know, he should be, you know, and it kind of felt like he was having like a sophomore slump, you know. But it's good to see now that he's really kind of hitting his stride, and you hope that continues. He was monumental in this game. I mean, 21-9 on offensive second chance points and beating them on the boards like we did. Fantastic play by Heide. And then, you know, you look at a guy like JCJ, who really struggled in the first half, really struggled to put the ball in the hoop. You know, had a couple bunnies that he missed, maybe a couple of shots that he wished he had, you know, maybe not taken. And then in the second half, he really hit his stride and made some really good plays and just played, you know, solid defense. DeMarshe Johnson coming off the bench. What a luxury. A guy like that, you know, he's not going to wow you with his stats, but he's going to give you good quality minutes, and he got some good offensive rebounds, and like he made a free throw and got a bucket. That dunk was awesome. And so yeah, really great minutes from our bigs. I was really excited to see what they did with Compton out, who's a big body. He has some big size for a freshman. So that was kind of what I was concerned about. And I think it was Leon Rice said we flipped the script on him.
I like that phrasing. I saw that after the fact. Flip the script on him. Yeah. For Farrell being a true freshman, his finishing ability has been very impressive. And to see these guys come in, step up, play big, they were finishing at the rim in their opportunities. I know it's been something we've talked about. JCJ, I think the percentages out there on his finishing at the rim, and to see them all step up and play big in those moments. DeMarche, we were loving it, man. We were watching it down there in McGregor's. We were kind of having a good time with DeMarche being in there. And then you see, okay, there may have been some times he was out of position defensively, different things of that nature, but you see the effort, you see the amount of activity he was putting out there. He was making a difference. And it seemed like he was getting better as the game was going on, getting a little bit more comfortable out there, start work up a sweat, start getting into the game a little bit more. It's a wonderful opportunity for him. So I love seeing that. And Heidi, I agree, man, that confidence. I'm going to take credit ever since I said he needed to be like that Bill Laimbeer, just a bad boy mentality. Like, who cares? Just get out there. Man, the offensive boards. I'm gonna take a little credit.
It's good he's not knocking out players though, like Laimbeer, so that's good. He's not starting fights. He's a little more like the Worm, just great offensive rebounder. But
I don't think he wants to be called the Worm, dude. I don't think he wants to be called the Worm. I mean,
I don't think so either.
We got a snake coming up this weekend. I don't know if he wants to be called the Worm, but anyways, I see him waiting. He's biting his nails. He's just can't wait to get in here. Better late than never, and that is one. Mike! Can I put you in the middle? Can I put you in the middle, man?
I don't want to be anywhere near that, dude. Nowhere. I'm gonna run over that camera.
No. Okay. All right. I'll separate you two. What's going on, Mike? How are you doing?
A lot of animosity in this room.
Well, it's Monday.
How are you feeling? What was the first thing that came to mind? Because you said Boise is a bigger rival to us than Utah State. And knowing we've had our troubles with them, what was like the first thing that came to your mind when that clock hit 0-0 and the Aztecs won?
I mean, big win on the road. We don't typically win there, right? So it's funny because my brother saw Farrell on campus, I think Thursday or something like that, in a walking boot. So I kind of had an idea he might not play. What are you eating? What is that? Jerky?
No, it's blue potatoes with red hot thick sauce.
Oh. I ate the rest of my potato chips. My mom sent me some down from Meridian. So but no, I mean, dude, I was listening to a stat. Degenhart is now 6-2 against us. So obviously we're 2-6 against them in the last 8 games, and then Utah State is 2-6 against us. So to me, it's like who's more of the rival? Someone you're 6-2 against, or someone you're 2-6 against? I guess it is all for open interpretation. But we don't typically win up there. I don't remember the last time we won up there, 3, 4, 5 years ago, maybe. But they played well. They held Degenhart to 1 of 7. Now Cardenas had a big. Sorry if I'm going over this. You guys already talked about it when I was over there, but that's going to be an interesting dynamic to see between Cardenas and Degenhart, how they can figure out how to play together. Because he took a lot of shots, and I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them play, but Degenhart's played 37 minutes, only took 7 shots. So that was a big help for us for him not playing well.
That's a really good point, man.
Yeah.
That's like a really good point, because that's something I noticed when I was watching the game again, is that Degenhart, so there's some possessions where he doesn't even touch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got preseason player of the year and you're not involving him in the offense every single possession. That's just crazy. Like, he's hanging out in the corner waiting for a 3-point shot, and it's Degenhart and whoever the big is running pick and roll. And it's like, man, you cannot have your player of the year not be, more involved in your offense. And so I totally agree with you. I mean, I think maybe they need to tamp down on the number of shots that Cardenas gets so that they can get Degenhart more involved. They're going to be tough. They're going to be really tough when they come back to Viejas. I think, Degenhart's not going to want to go out his senior year, feeling like he got punked by San Diego State twice. So you know he's going to bring it when he comes back to Viejas.
Yeah, I mean, hey, getting a win on the road after losing one at home is huge. I was listening to Dutch talk about that, and it's just, different. I mean, you're always up for every game, but that one had a little bit more importance to it after losing home to Utah State, which we can see they're pretty good, right? But yeah, man, that was a big win. You get Air Force on Wednesday. I was listening to you guys talk about Byrd. There's always a guy every year that just takes a jump. Every year, there's one guy that just takes the jump with us, and that's the catalyst for our team. So, Nick Boyd only had 7, 5, and 3, but he was there when he needed to be, and they all played well. Like we've talked about, DeMarche, seeing him get some minutes it's awesome, man. Like I know he busts his ass in practice and stuff, and getting on the court and showing him what he can do. And Taj, wow.
Well, let's take that next step, because it was a total team victory, dude. I mean, like you said, Nick Boyd, McKinney came in with 2 big 3-pointers. Like, those were very timely shots. We've talked about the bigs. Taj, what can you say, man? Release the Taj. That's what I like to figure that game was like. Just bring him out. I can imagine him coming out just ready to explode on the court, and the dude had himself a game, man. I mean, clutch baskets towards the end. Of course, Byrd had the 22, but you needed that other wing player that could expose Boise, because like you said, Cardenas is nice. We've seen him kind of go off when he was at San Jose State, but all his shots, for the volume of shots he took, it wasn't dropping like what he was hoping. That's the clear advantage that we had, was, I think, in our backcourt. So to see Taj do it, what was it? 13 points, went to the line 4 or 5 times, 6 rebounds. So it wasn't just like he came in and hit a couple shots. I mean, dude was very active and hit clutch shots.
Yeah, with a young team like this, they seem to play. I don't even know how to say it, man, but like they figured out a way to win the game at the end of the game when they weren't playing their best. They played a little sloppy at the end, kind of reminiscent of Utah State when we're up by 7 with 90 seconds left. So that's a learning experience. They missed quite a few free throws at the end, but that fast break buster when they threw it to Magoon and he dunked it was kind of the one that, okay, that's if that didn't go, then obviously things go the opposite way, I think, maybe. But this is going to be fun, man. Like, this team, like, I see the comment about Boise has won a lot against us, yes, but we are the top dogs. So I've always said teams build their teams around people they need to beat, right? So if we're always on the top, which we typically are, we don't win it every single year, but we're right there. Teams are going to build their teams to compete with San Diego State. And that's kind of how Boise's looking at it, and some of these other teams. So, hey, 2-1 in conference, 2 wins on the road. Weird to get 1 loss at home and 2 on the road wins. This is great. But we got a good little stretch here, man. Like, Air Force is Air Force. We know what they bring to the table with us and the problematics of it. But
well, we're going to talk about Air Force. So we're going to get all in depth.
Nobody likes Air Force.
About Air
Let's
Force.
go back to Taj for a second. I mean, because I don't feel like we spent enough time on him. Guys, he does not look like a freshman at all. I mean, he looks like an upperclassman. Just the not only his size, but just his ball smarts, man. He is so intelligent with the ball, and sometimes he'll take some outside shots. I'm like, that one that he banked in, I know he didn't call that one, but
that's when you know it's your night. That's when you know it's your night. You take that shot and it goes in, like, okay,
yeah, it's your night, right? But that guy, just his ability to pass and his ability to defend multiple positions at a pretty high level, he's so valuable, because that's one of the things that we've struggled with, is having small guards in the past, and having now a big guard who can handle the rock, who can, is getting more confidence taking it to the rack. You see a couple of those shots that he took, like the one where he put it off the glass and then he tapped it back in. got the rebound, and then obviously the and one was awesome. That was a huge, I think, kind of back-breaking point in the game when he was on the break and got that and one. So he's getting more confidence. But man, these freshmen, him and Farrell Compton, I think that was my concern. Is like, well, I didn't really see much of them in high school, so I hadn't seen much of their game. But man, they do not look like true freshmen at all.
Taj, the Swiss League player we really enjoyed watching down there this past summer. You could see the jump, right? I mean, it's Swish, and it was enough to get you excited in those couple games that we saw. It was like, wow, okay, I want to see what he does in that red and black. And boy, I mean, a much better outside shooter than I think what we even saw at Swish. Which is, I don't know how you account for that other than, he's been putting in that hard work and the opportunities are there with probably so much attention going to other guys. But he's stepping up, taking advantage of the opportunities. So
it's going to be really hard to keep him on the bench. It feels like he's getting to that point where he's going to, you got to give him more minutes because he's producing in those minutes.
And, I know coming off the Utah State game, the easy take is to look back and say, boy, that's a game we could have really used Reese Waters in. I said it. I've seen a lot of other people say it. That's the easy take, right? You lose a game, you're like, oh, well, and then you look at what you don't have, what you're missing. But nobody's benefited more than Taj getting that opportunity. And to see him grow each game is it's a blessing in disguise, of course, like we said, hopefully get Reese back, but whatever that decision is, it's a week to week monitoring type of thing, and hopefully all the best, man. Hopefully all the best. Oh, Mike, what else you got, Mike? What else you got coming in a little late?
I mean, the whole thing with Reese is interesting. We'll just let that be what it is. But
yeah,
I don't know about like the takes. Everybody's got what they feel. What we were missing at that Utah State game is timely defense at the end of the game. That's what we're missing.
Yeah.
So
just the focus.
Just so you could throw Reese in there, but he's not here, so we can't do anything about that. So they learned a little bit about themselves up in Boise. I mean, it's still a little, but they got the job done. So the fact that it had a game, a week off, a game, a week off, and now you hit running, I think that's going to really help us. And all that stuff. And again, with Taj, remember that pass he had against, was it Oregon, when he was on his butt and he threw it to Farrell? I mean, that was ridiculous. Farrell's our only top 100 prospect since 2005. So these freshmen, and this is nothing to take away from BJ and Miles, because, there's BJ's, we can see what he's doing, and Miles is just getting better each game. By the end of the year, I'm going to expect him to really, really contribute even more than he is, because he's getting better and better. We haven't necessarily seen a freshman with that high of a rating in 2 decades. So, and Taj was number 2 in the state. So they're very, very good basketball players. And in Vegas, the competition in Vegas is elite. So, we have a good young nucleus with a good veteran group around them. And then Miles Byrd. I mean, we see what his importance to the team is because of what we didn't get at Utah State because he was out, as opposed to what we did with Boise, right? So I thought it was funny when his dad kind of gave him like the look of like, bro, why you missed
after
that
the
dunk?
missed dunk?
Yeah, I just
missed dunk.
His dad was just like, you know what I mean? But hey,
just lay that in, son.
Yeah. Like they said, so it's going to be fun, man. I mean, 9-3, you look at all the teams in the top 25, there's quite a few of them have 2-3 losses. Gonzaga's got 4 losses. Obviously, certain schedules are harder, but I mean, we're right where we want to be for the most part, except for that blip against Utah State. So just take care of business when you can take care of business. And then,
yeah, I will say that I think at this point in the season, what I've seen where they have the biggest room for growth is not like their athleticism, their ability to shoot the ball, their ability to defend. It's more of the situational awareness, especially at the end of games. Mm-hmm. That's something that was pretty glaring, with the Utah State game and then this last game, where we're up in the game and we got guys who are trying to defend 90 feet from the ball when Boise State, who's a good free throw shooting team, is in the bonus. Like that, in those situations, you would do that if you're down, but not when you're up. And then, Miles Byrd going for steals late in the game. Again, they're in the double bonus. What's the risk reward with that you get? So just the situational awareness, understanding where, how much you're up, is the other team in the bonus, and just getting a little better awareness. That's just going to take like coaching, drilling, going through those situations. It's the cerebral game where they can really improve, I think, a lot over the course of the season. And you hope that, they can clean up some of those mistakes and just get better.
Well, and as the season goes on, Dutcher teams tend to do that. We've seen it with previous teams before. We saw it with the Final Four team, like we mentioned last week about the gaff against Arkansas and different things of that nature. And, the team is following suit in what we are used to seeing with this program, not losing back-to-back games. That was very important. That's the thing I came into just I wouldn't say fearing, but just not expecting the best outcome, right? I wanted to see it. I wanted to see what this team had in them. They rose to the occasion, handled business, didn't blow them out, right? But, man, won the game. So anybody out there complaining it's not a tremendous win, not a big win, give me a break. It's a big, big, big win for a young team.
You guys were really nervous in the chat before the game.
Oh, I was
really nervous.
We explained it. I said once Compton wasn't suiting up, I was like, oh man, we might be cooked. I used colorful language, but yeah.
I just, with a team like this, I mean, you don't know what to expect with the young fellas. I mean, they're
Don't
getting
do
more
it.
consistent, but what?
Don't do the Forrest Gump. Don't do the Forrest Gump.
No.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Don't do it. I know it's right there. You want to do it. You want to say it.
You just did it for me. But a lot of these guys haven't played in Boise before, right? So
yeah.
That's different. That's altitude up there. 1 o'clock start, which we don't have a history of playing well. I mean, the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock start in New Mexico is ridiculous, but whatever. But this is all new ground for these guys, but it's Taj playing well, and all these guys are just they're capitalizing on the minutes they're in the game, right? So that gives Dutch more quivers in his arrows in his quiver to say, okay, let's go here, let's go there, and at some point, I mean, last year or the year before, he'll change up the starting lineup at some point eventually, unless it's just going guns blazing. So hey, let's if Taj keeps progressing the way he's progressing, I believe he will probably start at some point this year. Like you said, Fiend, I agree with you. And then that gives another guy on the bench coming off with starting experience. Look at Matt Mitchell. Look at all these guys who have started and then went to the bench and then came back and stuff like that. So, again, it's not who starts, it's who's there at the end of the game. And so I'm excited about this team. I mean, this team it's got some potential. It's got some athleticism. It's got a good mix of players, good mix of height. I don't think we've seen Magoon have that one great game, but when he gets going and he gets more consistent on a regular basis, that's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, that's what's interesting really about, this team is that we had several guys who had off games. I would say that Magoon pretty much had an off game. Boyd had an off game. BJ Davis offensively, wasn't like a big factor in the game, but yet, we're able to pull out these wins on the road that we've struggled to do in the past. So, and with a very young team. So yeah, it's there's so much potential there. If they can put that together, for several games in a row, I mean, you got a real opportunity to make a run either, through the Mountain West tournament and into March Madness.
Yeah.
Well, All right. I like all this good stuff. It feels good to get a win on the road for sure.
Absolutely.
Guys, before we take that next step, what's going on, Mike? What's going on, Mike?
I was just going to throw a shot. I love to see Nevada 0-4 conference. A bummer.
Well, Reno's sign said it all. It's New Year.
Yeah,
Reno
like
still sucks.
He keeps throwing that sign up, but he keeps asking me to come up and to go to a game and stay at my house. So I'm not really sure if he's doing that for the clicks or he just really means it. I don't know. He leaves his clothes here, and then my wife. I'm like, whose clothes are these, babe? I don't know. Well, what the fuck do you mean you don't know? Whose are these, dude?
See, that's why I'm not staying at your house anymore. I don't want to break up a marriage.
Yeah, I go, who's? And then because I thought it was, I didn't. I was like,
you need to get more closet space.
and I sent you some more.
You need to get more closet space, Mike.
But you use the drawers, which is that's old school. But then I sent you the clothes back, and then they found more. So it's like the Costanza, the leave behind, right? You know what I mean? So, are you coming up for the game or no?
Well, you said you're not going to be there, so
I will be. I am now. Yeah. The plan.
Stop the cap.
Well, no, hold on. The gym. My little girl's got gymnastics, so they have these meets, and you say it's this weekend, but then you don't know what day of the
Stop the
weekend.
cap.
2 weeks. What does that mean? Stop what? So I will be here. I get home Friday night.
okay.
Hey, love to have you. I won't be sitting with you, but I'd love to have you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know.
All right.
Somewhere else.
That's Cody.
Don't want to be seen with the Fiend, but that's okay.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Gotcha.
But that's Cody and I's game. So I got tickets from Connor. So we're sitting there. He got me 2 tickets, and he's like, "Who are you taking to the game?" I'm like, "I don't know why." I'm like, "Probably Cody." He's like, "Oh, okay. It's not Fiend, right?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "That whistle, man." I'm like, "No." He might come up, but I don't know, dude. So, but yeah, if you want to come up, so.
I don't know if Reno's good enough this year to warrant a trip. But
you were here last year. You can only go to so many places, dude. Like I would have loved to have gone to. I'm excited about Colorado State. I really am.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm really pumped about it. I was texting Bagnus. They get there like Saturday morning because it's an 8:00 tip off, and then they leave Sunday. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are on the flight with the team on Friday morning. To be honest with you.
Okay. All right, guys. Before we talk about some more things in Aztec Nation, put a bow on this Boise game. Just want to remind everybody to check out the online shop. Who are those very dapper gentlemen there on that front?
That's the
picture. That was man. No, well, okay.
Oh.
I know who these people are, but definitely check out sonsofmontezuma.com, our online shop. We got a lot of new NIL gear like Magoon Guath. We got an official NIL partnership with Magoon, as you guys can see. We even just released his official poster right now. You guys can check that out. And pretty much the Goonies got a special request to make that shirt, so got to make that happen. So make sure you guys are checking it out. Of course, Adriana Quezada on the women's team, Byrd, that Birdman shirt. I love that Birdman shirt, man. It had our buddy Minares modeling that shirt for us there at the game the other week. So definitely check it out, guys. A lot of new styles, and of course, still got the football styles from the year, and plenty more to come. So make sure you guys are hitting up the shop.
Yeah, I mean those shirts are great, especially the kid sizes. That Minares buys, you know what I mean? They have them in all sizes for everybody.
No,
I like that. Hey, I got something special for Fiend for Colorado, by the way. So I'll show it to you when we get there.
Uh-oh.
Eager with anticipation.
Can't wait.
Did you guys see this? Did you guys see this the other day, guys? You guys see this? Mr. The Claw is back. Mr. Kawhi making his debut for the Clips this season. He had a nice little game the other day. I haven't been following NBA as much as probably all you guys in the chat, to be honest with you, but it's great to see Kawhi back suited up in the league, hitting the tray right here. Clippers won big. I think they're playing. They might be finishing up their game right now too tonight. I'm not sure.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I know they were winning. Do you know, did they win?
I don't know. I mean, Kawhi is just so quiet. You know what I mean? He's got those runs where he can't be stopped sometimes. he's different sometimes. No,
They lost by 2 tonight.
Yeah.
Lost by 2, so he got stopped tonight, man. Dang it.
But if he's healthy and he gets through the season, he gets to the playoffs. I mean, he's a different dude in the playoffs, man. There's something something different with him in the playoffs. That's just like, whoa, hold on a second. I mean, he's definitely top 10 San Diego State player of all time. He's got a top 3. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Who's number 1, Mike?
Number 1 to me, it's Judy Porter. We talked about this, right? I would like to know about your guys'. What I was interested about. We'll go off topic here. Was the Mesa Foundation? No free shout-outs. With the players' top 5 artists, and I like
music artists.
Musical artists. I love, or what they're listening to now. I loved Reese Waters with Sade, which I don't understand where the H came from. It's like Brett Favre, you know what I mean? And then Michael Jackson, and it's like, okay, cool, you know what I mean? He's Sade, like
old school,
yeah. So that's fun. I like what they're doing with that stuff, and they get a little insight to the players and stuff. And I think they got some Puesto gift cards today. Great tacos, by the way, unbelievable tacos. But it's kind of cool to see these dudes and their personalities and what they like and what they do and how they are on the off court and stuff like that. Kind of like we get to see when we interview the older guys, with DJ and all those guys. So I think they're doing great work, and I'm excited to see what they have cooking up their sleeves for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Mesa Foundation. Go support them. Guys, we talking Air Force Wednesday night. The Air Force Falcons come to San Diego at Viejas Arena this Wednesday. Tip-off time is 7:30 p.m. Looking forward to this game. Air Force looking to snap a 16-game losing streak at Viejas, dating back 20 years to 2005. They have not won in Viejas in that long. So needless to say, it's a little tough to get up for these games. I mean, Air Force, I'm so glad we are getting away from them in the Mountain West Conference. Whether it's football, basketball, all credit to them, right? I mean, always show the respect, but just the style of play is it's not something I ever really enjoy watching. But I'll never forget the biggest game against Air Force I saw in Viejas, and it was just like a 3-point just bonanza. I think Matt Shrigley was just hitting threes all over the place. Like it was a typical game against Air Force. You can't sleep on them though, right? I mean, you can't as much as you want to. Wednesday, you got to be a professional, as Dutch always says. You got to have that NBA mentality. Move on to the next game, whether it's a loss or a win. You got to move forward. Handle your assignments, handle your business. Fiend, any thoughts on Air Force? I mean, it's Air Force.
No, I mean they've got 3 wins on the year. I mean, they've beaten Stony Brook, they've beaten Mercyhurst. Who are they? And Jacksonville State. That's it. They've got 3 wins on the year. They are 3-11 is the record. By far the worst team in the Mountain West, I would say. Ethan Taylor is a good player. He leads the team in scoring, 14 points. I mean, he's a pretty good player. But this is a team, Air Force, that's just been decimated by the transfer portal. Ritus Petritus, he went to Cal. We played against him up in San Jose. He was their best player last year. And then I think the year before that, their best player left. And they can't just grab dudes out of the portal. Right. I think they have to come in as like freshmen and then, move them up. So it's going to be rough in this new era for Air Force. And this game just makes me puke. They're both games at Viejas and especially at Air Force, because we have to play at altitude there and the guys get really tired. Yeah, I can't wait to dump this game. Like, I cannot wait to dump this game from our schedule. And one of the reasons why I'm excited about getting into the Pac-12. That stupid Princeton offense, no one wants to see it. No, you don't want to prep for it. Let's just get this dub and move on to New Mexico.
Mike, how do you follow that? I mean, are you as disgusted as Fiend with this matchup?
I mean, it's just a different challenge. I get what you're saying. You know, I mean, it's a different challenge and a different skill set you have to deal with. But yeah, you're right. Like I was thinking about, does Navy and like Army have a basketball team? Do they have basketball teams? Oh, they do. Okay. No,
I don't
it's
think
completely
Navy
right.
does.
Yeah, I don't.
David Robinson.
They used to.
Oh,
Well, I
that's
think their
right.
program
Not anymore?
folded. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they have a basketball team.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about Air Force. No, I don't think they have one either.
Yeah, it is very difficult. I
Army.
didn't think about that until you said about the transfer. They'll lose guys, and I don't know how that goes when you break your
Can't
commitment
replace
to
them.
them. Yeah, you can't replace them. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I guess at the end of the day, Air Force is Air Force, and hopefully they don't beat us. And we appreciate the armed forces and stuff like that. And let's get the dub and get some work in.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
go
no
from there.
disrespect. Yeah, I mean, no
I know you
disrespect
don't.
to servicemen. Just them as basketball players.
Hold
that's
up.
Just the Army
Hold
guys.
up. No, you mean
Right.
no disrespect. Navy does play basketball. Come on, man. Don't
Do they?
disrespect them. They have a basketball team, dude. Yes.
Do they? What conference are they in?
They lost by
I'm-
1 point to
Army
Lafayette
does
yesterday.
too. Army does too. They have a basketball team. Yeah.
I've never
How
heard
dare
of either one of them in basketball do anything. So yeah, that's news to me.
Interesting. Who knew?
How dare you? The disrespect, I tell you. Don't care. Still don't care. Don't care. Still don't. No.
It's an unknowing that we now know. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to say about Air Force on Wednesday. It's just it's going to be nice to be home, watch the boys perform, see who steps up, see who is improving, and just stay healthy. Let's go. The weekend, it's going to be hard not to look ahead. We already saw Mouse in the house in the chat. Albuquerque. We were there last year. New Mexico. ABQ. They just came off of a big 1 point. Was it a 1 point buzzer beater win against Nevada?
That was
The
wild.
battle
That
of
was
the-
wild.
That
ending
was
insane.
crazy. And there's so
There's
much.
no way they should have won that game. I mean, that was just so improbable that Nelly Jr. Joseph got that ball and put it up with 0.3 on the clock. I mean, but what an ending. That's college basketball. That's the beauty of college basketball. And what I love, about college basketball is the endings like that. Heartbreak for Reno, just absolute heartbreak. I mean, they can't break this losing streak, and they had the game won, and it was snatched from them. So they're going to be really fired up. It's another gimmick game like it was last year. Stripe out, right? So Aztecs, where everyone's Super Bowl in the Mountain West. So they have the stripe out, the red and white. Remember they had that last year, and we wore black when we went there. So yeah, it's gonna be a packed crowd. They're there to see, a great battle, and they have tremendous respect for us because they know if they beat us, it's a quality win, and it's gonna turn their season around. As far as like possibly. Maybe getting into the NCAAs as an at-large bid. I don't know, but definitely this is a big. Everyone marks us on their calendar when we're playing them at their place, and that's going to be a huge task for our guys to go on the road and get a dub.
And in the standings right now, they are right behind Utah State. They're at 4-0 in Mountain West play. 12-3 overall on the road. They've won 5 in a row after that buzzer beater against Nevada. And no doubt they got Wyoming tomorrow night. Wyoming on the road. So they'll be in Laramie.
That's a trap game.
It's a trap game, right? And the altitude, Wyoming, they're not terrible.
They're a little better than I thought they would be. Yeah, they're not terrible. So definitely a trap game for and coming off a big win like that at home.
Yeah. So that that'll be something to tune into, or at least catch the highlights tomorrow night watching New Mexico, seeing how they perform there on the road. I can't say I'm hoping that they lose, because you definitely want to play them at their best, so it's a higher quality victory. Every win counts. If we could get a high quality win in this conference, I don't think Mike necessarily cares about that, but it's all good. just got to get those high quality Q1 wins, quad 1 win, and Boise was one for sure. I wish we were in New Mexico, guys. I wish we were doing that. After seeing the pit for ourselves last year, it was not a warm reception for us. We were all there together with Andy, just surrounded by howling Lobos, and boy,
they weren't trying to fight us or throw stuff at us, but
no,
it wasn't too bad.
But it was a little bit of an excruciating experience. One that I'm happy we went through together. I would do it again. And I think this time around, it's going to be a lot different. Hopefully the result is a lot different, but I think it's going to be a much more competitive game than the one we went to last year for some reason.
It was competitive for us until the second half. And then when they blew it open, and then it just snowballed on us. But yeah, I think, we got a real good shot to go in there and steal one from them, which would be nice. It kind of makes up for that loss at home and then getting 2 on the road. 2 quality wins on the road. Both, Boise is a quad 1 win. New Mexico, I think, would be a quad 1 win as well, or pretty close to it. So definitely these are, a couple of big games here.
So the top, of the Mountain West is looking like what we were expecting so far. If you want to just take the initial standings, Utah State, that wasn't who I was expecting, but you knew they were going to be in the top half of the league. They're at number 1, New Mexico, UNLV, Boise, us, Colorado State. So I think that's about what to expect, shaking up a little bit. And that's going to be completely different by the end of the season, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. We'll see. Guys, anything else before we dip into Mike? I see that lovely little hooded sweatshirt you got on right there, those brown and gold. Now, I know everybody watching is not a Padre fan. They're not. But is that something we want to get into? Is that something we want to dive into?
No, it's too early.
No.
We don't know what's going on, dude. You got to give it 48 hours. I mean, let's wait and see what happens, because there's all speculation and rumor, and who knows what's going on. So, that just popped today, right? I was listening to that on Twitter. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Padres." I'm like, "What is going on?" Like they did not get like Sasaki. That was my first thing, and then all of a sudden that popped out. I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." So I haven't really dug into that. So I've heard rumors, but I'm not educated enough about reading up on it to see what's going on. But things could change in a week.
Didn't you just send me a very detailed video explaining the lawsuit? Because it's basically Peter Seidler's widow, Sheil, who's putting out a lawsuit against Peter Seidler's brothers.
I mean, we know
for control of the team.
We know the basics of it, but we don't know. Like we know the initiality of what is rumored to have happened. So we'll just, I don't know, man. Like the thing that caught my eye was somebody said something about relocation, and I was just like, dude, if they fuck it.
Well, that's the claim. That's kind of the claim. She's saying the brothers have that in swirling within their thought processes, and to them initially, right, they have no connection to the team, really. They haven't been there at Petco throughout this whole process. I don't think anybody's really seen them prominently. So knowing that the dollar is the main motivation behind it, I don't know. Maybe we don't know that.
It's always about money. It's always about money. It's always about power at that level. Hey, you know what I'm excited about? You know what it is? Problems. You know about problems? They're going to be there tomorrow. You know what? You know what I'm looking for? Beating Air Force on Wednesday night.
Oh man, killing my vibe, bro. Get out of here, Finn. When you saw that lawsuit, because I know you caught wind of that. I mean, what was your initial thought?
No, I didn't. This is the first I had heard of it. So
are you kidding me?
I've not been following it at all. No, I mean, it's not baseball season. It's Aztec basketball season. That's what I'm dialed into.
I agree. You guys live under a rock? What's wrong with you guys?
It's
the only professional sports team we have in this city, and you guys are over here with your thumbs up your. We're talking about control of the Padres. Like,
don't care. Still don't care.
You know what they say? I'm not too big to listen to the rumors. I'm just too big to pay attention to them.
These aren't rumors. This is an actual.
We don't know what it is
that was put in there.
Yeah, but we don't know what it is until it is.
Oh God! You know what?
I sent you the article, but I didn't read it.
You know what? I don't want to hear it right now. You don't know what it is, but you've got a lawsuit out there in the media. Like, okay, have you learned? Are you Are you ready to be an adult?
That's your key phrase, a lawsuit in the media. Do you trust the media? I sure as shit don't.
Oh, sounds like you got something else you want to talk about.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Man, you guys are killing my vibe, man. Killing my vibe. Okay, well, what else you want to talk about Air Force, guys? What else you want to talk about New Mexico, guys? What else you got? What else you got? Bring it.
We talk about how shit-faced Snake's girlfriend was at the game.
Oh my God! Wow, did you see that video?
I don't think it was. Yeah, she was tuned up, man.
That's some heavy duty math, man. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Bill. Says based on Fiend's comments on Air Force tonight and with the new U.S. president, Fiend might get his draft notice in a couple of weeks. Just saying. Fiend might be might have to go out there and fly some planes. What's going on? Thank you, Bill.
I think there's a physical requirement that probably not.
Yeah, definitely.
None of us are gonna pass, bro.
Exactly. Ain't no way they signing me up.
Well, Mike's got the fighter pilot helmet and the jumpsuit, so maybe you can get out there and fly some F-14s if they still fly those. I don't think they do.
No, they retired in like '92. I can't fit in that shit, dude. You kidding me? We will address the Padres thing when we address the Padres thing. I think we should let it sit for a minute and see what happens the next week or two. And I'm just worried. What is the status on Farrow? Has anybody had any updates on his foot since Saturday?
I haven't heard anything in the media. No.
Well, we do play Air Force 2 in the next 5 games. And then after that, we play San Jose State 2 in the next 4. So, if we can get through that stretch, because we got 7 games left in January. I think if we can go 6-1 in that, we're sitting pretty.
One game at a time.
Right.
One game at a time, Fiend. One game at a time.
Yep.
Wow.
I love it. We rub off on each other emotionally, physically, mentally, grammatically. You know what I mean? So it's like a hodgepodge. I'm excited about Colorado State. Like, that'll be fun. Just to hang out with you guys. I know we give each other shit and stuff like that all the time. But, like, it's just going to be fun to kick it with you guys. I just love just hanging out and shooting the shit in person, man. It's like you can text and do all that stuff, but, like, hanging out with someone in person and just being there and just in the night, in the moment is there's nothing like that, especially when you go with your boys to a roadie like that, so it's gonna be great.
All right, guys, you guys heard it there. We will be there in Colorado State soon enough. Everybody, want to thank you guys for joining. We're hitting that hour mark. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We continue to bring you guys some in-depth analysis of what's going on in the world of sports. Fort Collins is a cool city, so I can't wait. February, Super Bowl weekend, we'll be there.
There's a few people going to be there, it looks like, huh? We'll have to maybe put some together.
Let's do it.
8:15 start. We're going to have to take a nap before that game, though, I'll tell you that. It's a late one. Because, 8 o'clock means like 8:15 or something like that with all the TV scheduling.
Bring your sleep pap machines. Gotta get your rest. Get your rest up. All right, guys. Until next time, we will see you. We'll see. I don't know, man. Wednesday night's Air Force, New Mexico Saturday, early morning. Not sure. We'll have to see when we do this again and preview the Lobos. But until then, you guys have a great night. sonsofmontezuma.com. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs. Happy New Year.